Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of All Things Life and Sports with Kyilan Thomas. That's me, Kyilan Thomas. Let's get into it. Today, we're going to talk about my Jaguars defeated the Texans. We're going to talk about Trevor's big day, threw the most passing yards in the quarterback NFL week this week. Everybody was talking about Stroud versus Trevor. We'll see who pulled out with the dub. Stroud did play extremely well, though. Got to give him his props. Our rush just to the end. Josh Allen, when it matters. But our rush just could not get to him like we had him. But we got to finish these sacks. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Josh Giddey versus the Ja Morant situation. Saw yesterday. It was a big deal on X, Twitter X. It was a big deal. Why are we not talking about Josh Giddey like we were Ja? Why hasn't Giddey been suspended but Ja suspended for showing a gun, whereas he's being accused of having underage sex or sexual relations with a underage girl, but we not even talking about him. But Ja just got such a big uproar. And we know what people that are questioning that, we know what they are trying to paint in that scenario. So we know what they are trying to paint with that scenario. They're trying to make it a black and white thing. You know, we talk about the black dude with the gun trying to make him out to be a thug, but we're not talking about the white dude who being accused of blah, blah, blah. So we're going to get into that, and I'm going to tell y'all why we were talking about one more than the other. And lastly, we're going to have my fantasy football update, and we're going to get into why is Coach Prime losing commits. That's kind of shocking to me because, you know, that's Coach Prime. I thought we would have been like the commits he had. I thought everybody would have came. I thought he would have still been getting commits and people coming in the portal, you know, especially the first couple of weeks. You know, we was like, oh yeah, they ain't gonna have no problem getting people. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people are decommitting. I think they only have like 8 total high school players committed in this class. So let's get into that. But first, we're gonna get into my Jaguars versus Texans. Won that game. Now we are sole first place in the division, have a formidable lead. All we pretty much got to do is win out, which I think we can do. The only game that I think we could lose remaining is that Raven game. But if we want respect nationally, if you want that national media respect, you have to win that Raven game. If we win that game, I don't see any other game on our schedule that we should lose. We are to that tier, to the echelon where you have to beat the teams that you're supposed to beat. Trevor went from 23 of 38, 364 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown, and 1 interception. But that interception should have been called back due to Evan Ingram getting held on the route, which led to the guy being able to intercept the ball. Blatant, horrible, no call. How did the refs not see that? And let's get into that. The officiating for this game was awful, just straight awful on both sides. I keep seeing a lot of Texas fans of the Jags, where refs bailed them out. You see the dude trying to post a meme of Trevor doing the jersey swap with the referee. Like, no, it was horrible calls on both sides. Y'all got a touchdown. Y'all got 6 points in the field goal from that INT that should have been called a PI. Now, I believe the refs did give us a makeup call PI after that. What is the name? Thierry Thomas, the Texans cornerback. I don't think that was weak. You know what I'm saying? So I believe they gave us like 2 makeup calls, which I agree. Like in sports, if you miss one, you just miss it. Shouldn't be no makeup call situation because you missed a blatant one. Call it when you call it. Call it right the first time. If you get, that's why we have replay. That's why we have all these different means to get situations fixed. But yeah, the NFL has got to fix this officiating, man. I don't know what they can do. I mean, they say Richard Sherman said on Undisputed that with officiating, if you kind of do get graded throughout the year, and then that determines if you can officiate a playoff, Super Bowl. That's why he said he would always say, I'm not going to see you in the playoffs or something. But I think that should get suspended, or they should get, like, fired, or they should get, like, that's just a blatant miss. How do you not call that? That led to an interception that led to them getting 6 points in a division game for first place. Calling a lot of this. The Texans are holding almost every play. I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you're going to one game they want to cost us, the next game they don't, it got to be equal across the board. I mean, I don't really know what to do with the NFL officiating. It's getting to the point where every game, you got the roughing the passers. It's getting to the point where every game we're talking about how officiating has affected the game. But let's get into it, man. Trevor threw for 364. I think that's 4 yards away from his career high. If Ridley just catches the ball, if Christian Kirk just catches the ball, if Evan Ingram just catches the ball, Trevor would have had his career high in passing yards. Ridley went five receptions, 89 yards, and a touchdown. Kirk, 4 receptions, 89 yards. Ingram, 5 receptions, 49 yards, and Kirk had to drop. Ridley had to drop touchdown. And Luke Farrell, 3 receptions for 55 yards. Luke gets in there. Trevor does his rollout. He rolls out, throws it to Luke. Luke gets the yak. I love how we use Luke Farrell. Just that I always notice he gets the plays on those little rollout type plays or play action type plays. That's a Luke Farrell play right there. And he got 55 yards off of that. 3 catches. This is kind of the stat line that we expected kind of going into the year with the receiver core that we had. Like I said, Kirk dropped one. Ridley dropped a touchdown. He would have had about 60 more yards and another touchdown. So this is kind of the prediction on where we thought this offense was going to be going into the year. Trevor was throwing the ball long, not just checking down. Trevor was throwing it long. This is what I envisioned with this team. I said we were going to the Super Bowl because our defense was going to be top 5 and the offense was going to play like how it played. Now, the defense had is a little lackluster last week. It seemed like a lot of people was wide open. Stroud kind of diced our defense up, man. He's only a rookie. The Texans versus the Jags with Stroud and DeMeco Ryans is going to be a great battle for years to come. Like Trevor said, you hope the other teams in your division aren't good, but hey, at the end of the day, we want respect, got to get respect. Want to be the best, got to be the best. Let's get into this call real quick. That call at the end of the first half, a lot of people saying, oh, you should have took the points. No, listen. Doug Peterson said it in his conference. I said it, and he said it in his press conference after the game the next morning. We were getting the ball anyway in the second half. Let's go for the kill shot. If we don't get it, cool. We're going to get the ball. It's not like if we don't get it, Texans get it in the next half. He knew going in, we're going to get the ball. Let's try to shut it down with a touchdown. You're at the 1-yard line. Now, us being the team that we are, we're supposed to be able to get that. Now, we've struggled with that, but we just saw Trev get the touchdown by just reaching the ball over. I think that's the play that they should have ran. I didn't like the play. Why would you pitch it to now you're behind the line? They should have just ran that again. Only thing I didn't like about that was the play call. But yeah, you go for that right there. I mean, I know you go for that. Yeah. Gators lost to FSU. I mean, I don't even care about that. Honestly, the Gators, we know where they at. Billy Napier's not going nowhere though. It is what it is. Gators, sorry. Let's get into the Josh Giddey versus Ja Morant situation. Now, a lot of people are saying, why aren't we talking about, why isn't ESPN or Undisputed, and why aren't these talking heads talking about Josh Giddey the way they were talking about Ja Morant? Number one, Ja Morant is a superstar, okay? That's like when everybody was like, why aren't we showing Simone Biles at her husband's NFL games like we are Taylor Swift and Kelsey? One, her husband isn't Travis Kelsey. And two, Simone Biles, she's great, but she isn't the pop star that Taylor Swift is. So both of them combined, they're going to get more. People are going to talk about them more. People are going to talk about Ja Morant more than they do with Josh Giddey. That's number one. Two, we saw video of Ja Morant in the act doing what he was accused of. We saw him in the act doing it, and people were responding and talking about the lives that they saw. So it was news because you see it, so now it's going to be on the show. It's like any soundbite. Like if an athlete has a soundbite or says a certain thing or something in the interview or something, they're going to talk about it the next day. We have actual video of Ja Morant showing the guns. Then there's police reports and stuff if you threaten a kid with a gun. The Pacers laser incident. He just had so many incidents of him flashing guns. Then we see you flashing a gun on Instagram Live. We're going to talk about that. And it's the context of everything. Y'all have to stop acting like he's just practicing his Second Amendment right. He just owns a gun. Y'all know that's not what that man was doing. That's the reason why we are talking about Ja Morant. And we're talking about Ja Morant more than we are Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey, this situation is just hearsay as of right now. There's no really, they're doing an investigation. There's no news, no charges, no nothing. We don't have nothing. Only thing we have is video of him with the girl in the club. We don't even know her actual age. None of that's official. Like you said, this is a legality. You can't just, like Stephen A. said, you can't just say stuff because you can get sued for that. If you were to say he did this or this is this, he's this, and there's no evidence of it as of right now. So we can only go by what we have. Whereas Ja Morant, we've saw multiple incidences and proof of the stuff that he's done. Lastly, also, Ja Morant, you had a meeting with Adam Silver saying you're going to change your behavior. Then you go have another incident after that. That's what led you to getting suspended. So it's just a lot of context. Y'all got to stop trying to make everything be black and white. This case was not a black and white situation. To try to compare Ja Morant versus Josh Giddey, why we talking about Ja? Why we was talking about Ja, but we ain't talking about Josh Giddey? You cannot compare the two. Granted, I get it. Should he have been suspended for that? You don't know what the NBA policies is, blah, 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 blah. You know how I am. I believe free speech, freedom of whatever. I don't think people should get suspended. Look, I'm very hardcore on that. But they rules is they rules, man. I mean, they investigating it, and if they find something, I feel like they're gonna suspend. They're gonna do what they gotta do. But at the end of the day, with Josh Giddey, somebody posted on social media, "Hey, Josh is dealing with the underage girl." That's just hearsay. We don't have no proof of that. Next, let's get into Colorado losing commits. One, they just lost their OC. What's his name? Chad Lewis. He's going to, I think, San Diego State as their head coach. So they're losing their OC. They just lost the 2025 and the 2020, their 2025 and 2024 QB commits back to back. They currently only have 8 total high school kids committed in their class. Now, what I think this means, throughout the season, certain things Prime said. He came out and questioned if they really love the game. Now, and I read that, I'm like, you can't do that. You can't be all on them when they winning, and then when they losing, you question if they love the game. You cannot do that as a coach. 2, we all know how he is, Shiloh and Shador. He wanted to come back for a year. He was at Jackson State for about 3 years. Left there. They come here. Is it going to be the same thing? You're going to be here for about 2 years. Once your sons leave, are you gone? His name is already in hats for other coaching, Texas A&M job, other coaching jobs. Now, he shut it down, but your name is already in a hat for other bigger jobs. Who's to say you're not going to take those jobs once Shiloh and Shador leave? And with those 2 quarterbacks decommitting, how do we know you got good, adequate protection coming in? We saw that offensive line. I don't want to play behind no offensive line like that. Like they said, they're going to hit the portal, but I just feel like I thought they wouldn't have been losing kids like this. I really did, and I thought people would be running to go to Colorado. But I think that last stretch, and I think a lot of them kids are seeing they got a long way to go, and they just probably don't think Prime is going to be around for that long way to go. This may be his last season due to Shiloh and Shador leaving. So how do we know he's not going to try to take a Texas A&M type job? So they're leaving, and they said, we're just going to go where we know it's set, where we know we're going to go to Alabama. We're going to go to Georgia. We're going to go to Ohio State or Michigan, because we know they're the set programs. We know those programs. They don't want to be a part of a rebuild when they're not sure how long Prime is going to be there. And I don't blame them. Lastly, let's get into my fantasy football update. My Jazz league, I lost 116 to 123. But Buddy had Bijan Robinson, who got 27 points in like the first quarter, 2. I was like, oh, Bijan, sorry. He only got like 1 point. Then, boom, by the end of the game, Bijan got 27. He had Ridley that got him 21. Ridley wasn't doing nothing in the second half. He boomed. But at the end of the day, I can't even be mad because I'm a Jaguar fan. So, Ridley balled out. I ended up leaving Pacheco on my bench. He ended up giving me 25. Tell y'all, the 1 week I don't start somebody, they ended up booming. And he got me 25. If I would have put him in there, Saquon only got me 6. So if I would have put him in there, I would have won. Jags defense didn't get me no takeaways. They only got me 4 points. So I just had a lot go wrong this week. But it's so we good. We good. We're good. My money lead lost 121-31. 121-131. I was projected to win that one. Kyilan only got me 1.2 points. Like, seriously. He balls against the Dallas defense. I said, okay. I sat him that week. I said, okay, let me put him back in. Okay, boom. Put him back in. He only get me 1 point. Riley Patterson, Detroit kicker, ain't get me no point. He missed one. And then that coach don't kick it. So I might have to figure out what I'm going to do about him because they don't even like the kid. Then K. Williams got Buddy, 38 points from the Rams. I had Tyler hit me, but that canceled out because the running back got Buddy 38 points. So I ended up losing that one. So I went over 2 in fantasy this week. But it's okay. We good. We solid. It's okay. Woo-saw. We just riding the season. I'm still in good positions in both leagues. Still number 1 seed in both leagues. But yeah, that's it, man. Look, stop making everything black and white, man. Jaguars, we coming. We about to beat the Bengals. Monday Night Football. Colorado, I better get it together. Get it together. Y'all better Mike Norvell this portal because y'all only got 8 high school players coming in. So as of right now, so y'all gotta hit this portal hard. I mean hard, and hopefully they'll want to come to the portal, especially them offensive linemen and defensive linemen. I think they'll get them though because they know that's the part of the team that need help. So let them good defensive linemen, offensive linemen gonna say, oh yeah, let's just go, let's help them out. So I hope that's the case. But until then, thank you guys so much. I told y'all I'm riding hard. I'm tired. I got to work a 9 to 5. Then I got to go do some extra stuff after that. Then I'm coming and doing the podcast. I told y'all I'm staying consistent. We going to do this. I'm on my grind. Y'all get on y'all's. We can do this together. Remember, everything need to be done before you try to have fun. Peace.